Welcome to Empowered Bible Study Ministries. You know, we all have choices to make in life, no matter who we are. Well, today I would like to share with you the story of a woman whose life choices changed her life forever. The story of this woman will make you sit at the edge of your chair and examine the life choices that you make. I pray you are blessed by this story as I have been in preparing it. To begin our story, we see in the book of Joshua chapter 1 that Joshua was appointed leader of the Israelites after Moses died. Well, at this time, the Israelites were camped in the plains of Moab, which was close by the Jordan River, just across from that great city of Jericho. Well, as military commander, Joshua had given orders to his officers to break camp and prepare the people to cross the Jordan River. Within 3 days, they were to cross the Jordan and begin their military conquest of the Promised Land, which leads us to our study today. Well, prior to all the Israelites crossing the Jordan River, Joshua sent 2 spies into Jericho to evaluate the situation. Now, when the spies entered the city of Jericho, there was a sense of fear throughout the city because they had heard of the Israelites coming. Well, the spies made their way to the house of a woman named Rahab, where they ended up taking refuge. Now, Rahab was a prostitute, and as a prostitute, she lived on the edge of life. But Rahab made a life choice that would change her life forever. While she shared the general mood of fear with the rest of Jericho's population, she alone turned to the Lord for her salvation. Well, the king heard that the spies were in the city, and he sent his guards to find them. Rahab's faith gave her the courage to hide the spies and lie to the king's guard. Well, she knew that her position was dangerous. She was committing treason by hiding and helping the spies. In fact, she could even be killed if she was caught. But you know, Rahab feared God more than she did the king. You know, Rahab made a courageous decision to turn away from the evil and the corruption of the Canaanites, to turn away from prostitution. She made a courageous decision to turn to God and become identified with the people of God. So not only did Rahab hide the spies, but she helped them escape and even advised them where to take refuge in the mountains. Well, she put her faith into action. Before the spies left, Rahab thought about her family, and she asked the spies to save and rescue her and her family from the military conquest. Well, the spies instructed Rahab to tie a scarlet cord in the window to identify her house as a house of safety. In this way, the soldiers would know to pass over her house and not harm them. Well, Jericho was surrounded by this great wall, and a wall around a city in those days was fortification. It was to protect the citizens within. And Jericho's wall was so strong, as we read in Joshua 2:15, that Rahab's house was actually in the wall of the city. Now, get this picture. Here we have a fortified city where the houses are built within the city wall. And the Israelites arrive and begin marching around the walls for 7 days. And then they were given orders to sound their horns, which was different from what they had been doing before. And the Israelites shouted, and immediately the walls all fell. All the walls fell except for Rahab's house with the scarlet cord in the window. Well, this opened Jericho up to the invasion of the Israelite soldiers, and Rahab and her family were saved. You see, Rahab demonstrated a strong faith in the Lord, and her faith saved the lives of the spies, herself, and her family. There are some strong lessons for us to learn here. We see 3 main points in Rahab's life. First, she believed in the testimony she had heard about God. Second, she was willing to help others at great cost to herself. And third, she did not let fear affect her faith in God's ability to deliver. My friend, our faith must reach out to help others also, to bear a strong testimony and witness so that others will be saved because of our faith. Well, Rahab went on to live her life for God. And there is one more amazing fact about Rahab's changed life. Did you know that she is actually one of the women that are listed in Jesus Christ's lineage? Rahab was the mother of Boaz, thus an ancestor of David and Jesus. You know, no matter what we have done in our past, remember that Rahab rose above her situation through her trust in God, and we can do the same. Rahab heard of God's miraculous care for his people. She was convinced of the supremacy of Jehovah and so believed. Her actions from that day showed a changed life. James 2:17 says, "In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." You see, we cannot earn our salvation by serving and obeying God. But such action shows that our commitment to God is real. Deeds of a loving service are not a substitute for, but rather a verification of our faith in Christ. So remember, my friend, God will use us in our daily lives if we are willing to be available to Him. We all have choices to make, and we all have room for improvement. It is never too late to start living for Christ every moment of every day. God bless.